We are live, and this man is alive. And why is he alive and doing so well? Good genes, his wife's a good cook, or he uses HUMOR every day. We'll find out. Round of applause for Lenny Ravich.
Ravich, yeah. Woo! Yeah. Woo. By the way, you haven't mentioned the real elements that keep me alive.
What?
Cigarettes and whiskey and wild women. They'll drive you crazy. They'll drive you insane.
Crazy woman.
How are you?
Me, I've just been back 2 days in Barcelona. We flew over Doha, and I thought about you. Not that you're from Doha, but in the Middle East. And I'm happy you're, bad joke, alive. We made that little joke 2 weeks ago when we said we should do this and talk about, are we allowed to joke about horrendous things? And what is too early?
That's a very good subject. Yeah. Okay, so let's go.
Okay. They say, what is that expression? Humor is just trauma plus time. It's just, do you know that expression?
Yeah, but using humor in horrendous situations is a lifesaver. It's a survival kit. If I didn't have it, I wouldn't be able to be in the mood that I'm in, to be in the health that I am. The age of 90 and 2 more months. Humor is really vital to my living, to my loving, to my joy, and it can be used always. Sometimes there are some things that happen that you can't use humor right away, like you said, plus time. Yeah, that's true, but I'm living in the horrendous, and I will find a joke in everything.
I was surprised. I only have 3 friends in Tel Aviv. You're one of them. And a couple of weeks ago, I said, are you guys okay? And you said, well, just off to the bomb shelter. Could you tell us what that feels like? That I have never had that, and I hope to never have that, and nobody hopes to have that. But what is that feeling inside, and how can you find the humor when you're like, I could die? I guess we could all die any moment, but how do you deal with it?
Look, my wife, when she hears the siren, there's a siren warning to go to the shelter. And she comes to me and she screams, Lenny, we have to go to the shelter. And I say, today is my last day, and I don't feel like dying in a shelter.
Oh,
I would prefer to sit here in my easy chair while the bombs are falling, while I'm watching porn.
Oh man. And then she grabs you by the ear, or what?
Ear?
Whatever else is hanging out.
Sometimes when the bombs fall, everybody has a look on their face like a question mark. What's going on? And I say, where are they coming from? I mean, we have the Iran, who hates us and wants us to be wiped off the map. That's an option. They're coming from the Houthis in Yemen. They're being subsidized by Iran, so they're also so we don't know where. Like, is it from Hezbollah or is it from Hamas? We're completely surrounded. So the question is, there's a bomb coming in, a missile. My question is, from where?
And your youngest grandson would say, from the sky, Grandpa. It seems like an obvious answer, right?
Yeah.
So far away from an enemy.
I raised my kids on that kind of sense of humor. I tell them, when they say, what's going to happen? Now the United States is attacking Iran. What's going to happen? And my answer to them is, buy popcorn.
Cool.
And they say, why buy popcorn? I said, it's a movie. Don't get in it. You're not in the movie. You're watching the movie. And this is everything in my life. You know, you don't get involved. You got two parts of yourself always. You got the witness that's watching you, feeling what you're feeling. And the witness is the one that is not involved in what's going on. You can't take anything seriously. My mother once told me that when I brought her a bad report card from school, I was embarrassed to give it to her. And she said, "This report card belongs to me." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because I'm in school more than you." And so she gave me the permission never to take anything seriously. And I passed it down to my children. I remember I got a call at 2 o'clock in the morning from the police because my son had stolen my car. And I had a beat up car. Do you know the story?
You've said it, but I don't remember the punchline or the lesson you gave him.
Well, he stole my car. It was a beat up old Ford. I couldn't afford anything else. I was a teacher at that time. And so he stole this broken up car and he took all his friends with him. And they went joyriding until they came to a police barrier. And the police, tried to stop him. And he went through the barrier. And so they gave a chase, a car chase, with motorcycles. Vroom, 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 and they finally caught up with him, put him in handcuffs, brought him into the detention. I get this call 2 o'clock in the morning. Your son is in jail. So I go to jail and I see him behind the bars and I look at him and I said, "Nati, aren't you ashamed of yourself? You're not coming home until you steal a Lamborghini. Who gives a car chase in a broken down old Ford? Get real."
Get real, kid. So it's a choice because you say you couldn't have made it this far, and you're 90 in 2 months without actively applying humor into the way that you see things. And you choose it. So when your wife says something, the world says something, Iran says something, you choose, do you have a lot of options? Like A is get angry, B is feel like a victim, C is make a joke about how I feel angry and a victim and see if I can make someone smile? Or is it about making you feel better in that moment? Or are you thinking about the other people and the effects of humor or different times?
Well, look, if you're going to make other people feel better, you're going to feel better. Okay, that's the whole secret. That's how we're wired as human beings. You make somebody else feel good. Like when people say to me, "Lenny, good morning, how are you?" My answer is, when I see you, my heart flies like an eagle. That always gets a smile. Their smile makes me smile. It warms my heart that I warmed their heart. That's how we're wired. People don't understand that. They forgot that. They take things seriously. They think that this is, the worst thing that ever happened. If I ever allowed myself to let this poison come into me, it would absolutely kill me. And there are people who have died from loneliness or from negative thoughts. Whenever I have a negative thought, it makes me feel gloomy. And I say to myself, "Lenny, that's the witness. What? You're gloomy." Okay, so, well, now that you know that you're gloomy, you have a choice. Yeah, what is it? Let it go. Eat your popcorn. Enjoy the show. I gave you the permission to choose. You want to choose getting involved? You want to choose getting poisoned in your body? Or do you want to choose the lighter way, the way to make people feel good? The thing that makes me feel the best is when I hear my kids and my grandkids and my wife laughing, because I know that they are in the highest form of spirituality. And that makes me feel good.
Ooh. One of he's my buddy through Anne, and I from Holland, and that's why I know you. Do you know Barry Taylor, Lenny?
Barry?
Yeah.
Hi, Barry.
Barry's very funny, and he is quoting "Man's Search for Meaning" from Viktor Frankl. And there are some, well, let's just say that that's an appropriate quote for what people are going through.
Yeah.
It lifted, I'll say it, I never would have made it if I could not have laughed. It lifted me momentarily out of this horrible situation, just enough to make it livable.
Yeah, that's Viktor Frankl. He also mentioned one other thing, Viktor Frankl, that it's really burnt into my brain, into my heart, and that is the Nazis took everything away from me, my family, my children, but there's one thing they can't take, the last of all human freedoms, the freedom to choose how I want to respond. That's who we are as human beings. We have a survival mechanism that we can choose life. It says in the Bible, choose life. Some people, when they think negatively, are not choosing life. Always choose life. In Hebrew, it's called a mitzvah, and a mitzvah is doing God's commandment. God commands us to live and to choose life. And humor is life. And laughter is really living. And making other people feel good is a way that we were wired so that we feel good. And that's what I use. And that's why I tell my children to buy popcorn. Buy your popcorn.
There's that, I'm not good with quotes because I didn't like to read too much. I was having too much fun laughing with people, trying to learn humor for 20 years instead of actually reading books on psychology. There's, what is that quote? That God's, it's from Shakespeare. It's a game of fools and God's just watching us like play the game, right? And so, you know, that expression.
Yeah, it's from the Yiddish. Man trachs und Gott lachs, which means man toils and makes plans and God laughs. And that's a very important quote, because nothing we ever do comes out the way we want it to do. That's why God is laughing, you know, because we have plans and we have, okay, this will be the result. And you never get to the result because you're not supposed to get to the result, because the whole game is not getting to the result. The game is the path to the result. What kind of a person do you become while you're heading for the result that you're never going to get? You're going to get something else. It might even be better, but it'll be a complete surprise. But never look at the outcome of anything. This will bring me this outcome. Never.
Never.
Man trachs und Gott lachs. Man makes plans and God laughs his tuchis off.
This is fascinating. I've traveled a lot. You traveled a lot as well. We come from North America. I guess there's a reason we were trying to learn more about the world, because that can't be it, right? And I have heard two things when I was a younger woman, as everyone was once younger, that I lived in Brazil, and there's an expression in Brazil. Well, they smile all the time, right? I said to my boyfriend when I was living there, I'm like, why is everyone so happy? And he's like, oh, they're not really happy. They're just trained to smile. And I thought, oh, that's fascinating. Okay, tell me more. And it said there's a Brazilian expression that says, God was smiling when he made Brazil. I thought,
he was laughing his ass off when he made Israel.
Yeah, let's put those people surrounded by those people. See how that works out, right?
It's like God says, look at all I'm giving you. I'm giving you fresh water. I'm giving you mountains that have snow. But wait until you see the neighbors I give you.
Yeah, the neighbors. Well, I was just in Thailand for 4.5 months. And speaking of other neighbors, where I was full of Israelis and Russians. And they scare Canadians, both of those, right? Because of we're like, hey, how you doing? And neither of those two cultures is usually pretty happy to respond to that Canadian friendliness. There's another expression from Russia, and I did do extensive research to make sure that this is true. I asked one Russian, and he said, yes, that's true. So I'm speaking for all of USSR here. The expression that I've heard that also influences how people walk around the world is, They say God forgot Russia. And
what
you
does
said,
that mean?
what's that?
What does it mean?
You'd have to ask a Russian what it means.
What do you think it means?
I think it's very sad that you're not in the eye of the overwatcher.
You don't have a. Well, that's interesting to have a guardian or somebody watching over you.
Hmm. Yeah, and the Thai people, the word for fun is the same word as work. And thus, it's like they're smiling all the time. And my friend who lives there, he told me they have 12 different kinds of smiles. One smile is like, I want to friggin' murder you, and it's a smile. You know? So a smile's not always a smile. I'm sure some wise white man wrote somewhere in some play in history, right?
Yeah, I remember when I was a teacher in high school in a place called Eilat. That's on the southern part of Israel. It's on the Gulf of Aqaba, right next to Jordan. You could look over and see Jordan. And at that time, there was a war. And actually, Jordan was one of the enemies. They're our friends now. We made peace with them. And the other one was Egypt, and we made peace with them as well. But while the war was going on, and I'm in the middle of teaching a lesson, I would take the kids down to the shelter, and they were all, worried. And so what I would say, okay, here's a chance. I want you to listen to this song and learn it in English, because their native language was not English. And I would go, yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. And they would join me, and we would sing, and we would feel good. And that's part of humor, just feeling good about life. Just wake up in the morning and saying, thank you, God, for giving me another day. And I got this moment. It's up to me what I do with this moment. I'm not a victim. They're going to drop bombs. It's not that I'm a victim. Nothing's happening to me. Nothing ever happens to me. Anything that happens to me, I did it. It's me. I take full responsibility. That is real happiness. Knowing that you were totally responsible for your life and not saying he did it, they did it to me, they did it to me, and living a life like that, it's destructive. But saying I am responsible for my life, whatever happens to me, it's my projection. I project on the world. Let me tell you, I told my wife, I said, you're perfect. And she said, how can you say that? I said, because I decided not to suffer anymore. If you're not perfect, who suffers? So I make the world perfect. I don't want to suffer everything in the world that's happening because it's supposed to be happening. This is the time, like there's a time to live, a time to die, a time to grow, a time to reap. It's all in the time of, like, summer becomes autumn, autumn becomes winter. You can't get upset with that. That's the way life goes. So everything that's happening in my life is perfect. I'm talking to you. It's perfect. This conversation is perfect. Life is perfect. If it's not, I suffer. People look at a traffic jam and have a heart attack. Why is this traffic jam? And I remember a quote I heard from Dr. I'll remember his name because at my age you have these senior moments. He said, I used to get angry at traffic jams until I realized that traffic jams don't care. All right. You know what I mean? It's like life doesn't care how you respond. Life doesn't care what you think. Reality is just reality. And then you take it and make it into what you want it to be. You want it to be a happy moment. How do I make this into a happy moment? You want to make this into a dreadful moment? It's your choice. The choice. That's why I teach Gestalt, by the way. I teach people awareness.
Awareness.
Because awareness is healing. Because then you have other choices, better choices, and then that makes you healthier and stronger.
I was in Australia staying with an Indian woman, my friend from university. And we're sitting on the couch, her kids are in bed, and she says to me, like, she's lived in Western cultures for 20 years. She only spent 16 years in India. The rest is like the last 23 outside of it. And she says to me, white woman on the sofa, she goes, I just don't understand why white people always want to do things the most efficient way. And she just stops and looks at me. And I thought, well, what other way is there? Like, I'm so German, Canadian, American. Although I've been to 63 countries, I've lived in 13. I've never thought that before. And she just thought, in India, there's thousands of ways to be a Hindu. Every family has a different definition of Hinduism. It's the white people that called us Hindus. And she says, why do you all, like, why? And then I thought about it. I'm like, well, some countries do it the fun way, right? I live in Spain. The Italians, like, if you're gonna have to eat your vegetables, you might as well pour cheese on top of them, right? And olive oil. If you're gonna have to eat 3 times a day, you might as well make it delicious. England, take it. So it's just the choice, and the choice that you're born into. It's like, life is serious, German, right? Like,
you know the joke about what somebody asked Robin Williams, a German, asked Robin Williams, why do you think that we Germans don't have a sense of humor? And Robin Williams said, because you killed all the funny people.
Oh, man. Funny people are dangerous, aren't they? Because they allow themselves to look at it from a different perception and not be a victim and just say, what can I do anyway? I'll just let this happen. No, if you look at it a different way, you're closer to action and starting a movement, which is very dangerous to the powers that may be. So I suppose we're not too far off on get rid of the creative, self-empowered people who decide how they want to live this life, right?
Well, look, I wouldn't laugh if I were in Iran, but I did laugh when I was in Turkey. Now, I have a brother-in-law who was born in Turkey, and he took me to Istanbul, and I'm joking around and I'm having a great fun. And he says to me, look, this is a very serious country. It's an Islamic population. They look at people who are smiling and laughing very weirdly. So stop laughing. So I stopped laughing. And then about 20 minutes later, I said, are you having a good time? What does Barry have to say? It is my belief that life is like toilet paper. You're either on a roll or you're taking shit from some asshole. Keep rolling, Lenny. Thank you, Barry. Thank you. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Never heard that one. I guess that's his. It's nice. Barry's very funny. I interviewed him like a year ago, and I'd like to do it again, because funny people know other funny people, right? It's like, oh, you really like this person. They also see life the way you do. Even though people don't do it the way you do, you and I and our friends who try very hard in the Applied Improv Network, you know, to look for the funny. Most people don't, because it's risky. You can say the wrong thing. You can say asshole on LinkedIn Live, which we're probably not supposed to, right? You know,
he didn't say asshole. He said arsehole.
You did it. Yeah. So you can get in trouble, but it's worth it to you to look like an idiot in Iran by smiling, by making jokes that the Germans won't laugh at, because you choose to bring smiles to people, because that's what makes life way more enjoyable. And that's how people connect. It's just a decision from you. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes. Yes. It's a decision. It's a choice. And I couldn't live without it. I can't see life being without it. That joy that comes from it, of making other people feel good, seeing people smile. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen there's on YouTube, the laughing subway. There's a guy on the subway, doesn't know anybody, and everybody's sitting there, and they're going to work in the morning, and they're all depressed. And he's looking at his phone, and he's going, then all of a sudden, 1 or 2 people start to laugh. They don't even know each other. And, and some people are going with their heads like that. They want to see it, like, you know.
Yeah.
And within 2 minutes, the entire subway is unified. They're like
Mm,
one person. They're like one team. They're
mm,
all laughing together, and you
mm.
can't get people that close together
Yeah,
without laughing together.
yeah. So-
And
And that's
sometimes you laugh for no reason, you
uh,
know.
yeah. Is it inside of your head? Are you just got material building up there, like because you choose it to live, you must do it for your own enjoyment. And then when there are people around, you might throw it out there so that they enjoy it as well. But I assume in your head, you're giggling sometimes.
Yeah, well, my wife said to me, I said, I'm 90. I don't know how many years I have left. And she said, please live to 100. And I said, sure, if you promise to change my diaper.
What'd she say?
Oh, stop it. No, she laughed. She had a good time. I make her laugh when she's anxious and she's driving the car. And sometimes my humor is cynical. She thinks it's cynical because she's driving and she says, look at the traffic. This guy passed me over here. Why did he do that? So I pick up my phone and she says, what are you doing? I said, I'm calling the guy to find out why he did it. And she doesn't look at it as being funny. She looks at it, I'm making fun of her. And I learned a lesson from that. There's a thing called laughing at or laughing with. I laughed at her. That's the last time I'll ever do it because the silence was deadly for like a whole day. Don't you ever use your cynical humor on me.
On you,
So
yeah.
what I do is I give her an image. We're driving and she said, why are these roads so small? This is okay. So I said, look, imagine that these roads were built for camels and donkeys. And we're on a camel, and there's a donkey on the right hand side waiting for us to go by. And before I could finish my sentence, she almost had an accident from laughing.
Ah, nice.
So
Yeah.
that she taught me how to change my humor from being cynical to me, from laughing at me to as laughing with me,
So
laughing
what,
together.
this is a seriouser question. That's not a verb, I think. Seriouser.
I
Uh,
want all questions are serious.
yeah. So you're going into a bomb shelter. I don't. Is it every night or just the sirens go off and then you
Well,
go?
that's not the worst part. The worst part is waking up at 3:30 in the morning
Mm.
because Iran sends missiles, but their missiles are not uh, aimed at the military. Their missiles are aimed at killing as many civilians as possible. So but that's not the worst part. The worst part is you're fast asleep at 3:30 in the morning,
Mm.
and they hear the sirens, and whether you choose to go to the shelter or not, you're waking up. It's you know. So
Mm.
my wife gets very upset, because she has to. She's a very heavy sleeper, and I said to her, "Look, the next time they send a missile, I'm going over there personally and kick their butt."
He really loves me. That's nice. Okay, so is anyone making jokes when you're in the shelter? Are you sharing this with other people? I don't even know what this looks like. Do you have a personal one in your own house, or is it like everyone in the neighborhood and there's 200 people in one shelter?
There's a lot of people in the shelter, and they're all quiet and they're all serious.
Oh.
And so I come out with, "You may be wondering why I invited you here this evening."
Oh,
And
they
then
like,
and then some people, look at me and they look at everybody else and they start to smile.
oh.
And I said, "Well, the reason I invited you is because the company has to downsize." And then they all break up.
Wow. What a beautiful, beautiful, that's
I
what,
do that. I do that also when we get into an elevator, and let's say a woman might crowd into me because it's a very crowded space,
mm,
and I whisper to her,
mm.
"We have to stop meeting like this."
Nice. Beautiful. I guess I was like, you're my a post. I've decided you're my mentor, and because I would like to be like you and take this, just live with this humor, because I was just in Thailand on the most spiritual island. And we do this contact improvisation dance, which is the funniest, silliest thing you could ever do. It's like a bunch of kids just like bumping into each other and being like curious where their bodies go. So you think, I wonder what my elbow would be like on their ear. So you're allowed to just put your elbow on a stranger's ear, and then they turn to you, and then you move your whole bodies together.
Yeah. I know that game. Yeah.
It was full of Israelis too. And they love this stuff. It's so friggin' weird, right? And I was giggling the whole time. I was like, oh, look, we're like silly monkeys, and nobody else is laughing. I had to apologize for laughing. And I thought, what is wrong with 40 adults acting like crazy monkey children, and nobody dares laugh because that's not spiritual to laugh?
No.
Ugh.
Don't tell me that. The most spiritual thing you could do is laugh. It's the closest thing to a prayer.
Is it? Wow, I never knew that.
When you're laughing, you're close to God because you're not thinking of anything. You have no thoughts. You're just laughing, and you're in total meditation. You're totally blank of any thought. And when you have no thought, you're closer to God than you ever knew.
Wow, beautiful. Wow.
I mean, your thoughts are your ego, and your ego prevents God from coming through you. When you're laughing, God is coming through you. It's a prayer.
Right. We have laughter yoga, and you led us through laughter yoga in India when we were there at the Professional Speakers Association, and just laughing, and it works. But I never thought of it as meditation. And now I'm like, I just want to laugh half an hour a day, and I could go do laughter yoga, because that is, they don't call it meditation, but what you're saying is, let's just laugh. There's no thoughts in it. So how beautiful. Wow.
Would you like to do that right now for a few minutes?
I would, yes.
Okay, let's go. Take a deep breath. Thank you, God.
Thank you, God.
I love you, God.
I think your God has incarnated as a cat.
By the way, when you said that you have decided that I'm your mentor, I decided that I am your mentor and you are my mentee.
Yay.
And we can have a conversation anytime you want, just you and moi.
Yeah.
And because I see what you're doing, and you are so brave. You are so courageous. I mean, to get out there and just experiment and to see what people's reactions are when you do what you do. And I've seen you, and I even participated in one of your workshops in India where you were in Chennai, and you did a workshop there. And, I admire, you go from one country to another, you meet different people, you go on stage, you do things that are outstandingly, outrageous. And that's a place where most people want to be. I remember, you see my cat?
I see the cat butt.
I was friendly with a therapist. Her name was Ann Teachworth, and she was about like 55 or 60 years old. And she said, "My dream is to be outrageous."
Oh, wow.
Okay. And you do that. You are totally outrageous, and you're out of the box, and you're always constantly trying. And one day, it's going to happen that you're going to say, "Okay, I hit it."
I hit something. I hit the crazy house. That's what's going to happen.
I tried this. I tried this. I rang this bell. I rang this bell. This is the sound I want.
Oh, nice. This is the sound I want. Vibration. Right? Like, what's your vibe? What's your essence? And it's like, well, I asked Lenny 3.5 years ago, like, oh, how am I going to sell what I do? Like, how can I make money in this industry? Like, I know what I love. And he's like, just go as fast as you can and fail at everything. And then you'll end up with what you like, what you need. And I thought, I've done that. Your colleague, Avi, told me I should go work with HR people for a year and like really learn what HR people want. And I was like, that's also good advice, but I'm going with Lenny's advice, which is just try 50 things and see which ones fail and leave those behind. And I'm getting closer and closer. And I think before my death, I will vibe with what my soul was meant to do here. So
absolutely,
fail fast, right?
absolutely. Look, you're very young. And remember, I started my career at the age of 60.
Right. Wow.
30 years ago. Okay.
Yeah,
I was a teacher before that. I was an actor before that. And before I got into the humor, laughter, and speaking business and keynote and so forth, I didn't start until I was 60. I didn't feel ready until I was 60.
Oh, really? But,
all right. Yeah.
But were you funny were you a funny child or?
That's what got me in trouble.
Yeah.
That's why I came home with the report card I came home with.
Okay. So you were always funny. And was it your mom? I think I asked this before. Was it your mom who was funny, or where did you learn funny from?
I learned funny from my mom and laughter from my father.
Okay.
Look, there are two things. People have sides to their personality. My mother told jokes, okay, but she was depressed. Okay, my father laughed and he was sick.
Oh.
You know, he had a terrible disease. So that was their way. You know, there are two sides to every story. So my mother would tell a joke. We have a dinner, like the whole family and my aunts and my uncles when I was a kid. I was about 7-8 years old. And my mother would tell a joke. And then everybody would look at my father waiting for him to tell a joke, and then back at my mother. It was like watching a tennis match.
Oh, how lovely!
You know, so yeah, they gave me a lot of support in being funny. They loved when I was funny. My teachers didn't. A lot of people didn't. As a matter of fact, when I was a supervisor of teachers, I had my office, and this woman came into my office. She was my colleague. Her name was Esther. And she says to me, I have a problem with you. I said, what is it? She said, I can't pin you down. I said, pin me down? You mean like you collect insects and you pin it and then you label it? And she said, yeah, I can't label you. You're a teacher. You're a stand-up comic. You're a keynote speaker. You're an actor. And she goes through the whole, and she's, I can't pin you down. So I had nothing nice to say to her, except the nicest thing I could say was, Esther, seek help. This is who I am. You can't handle it. It's not my problem.
Yeah.
I live in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like,
can't pin you down. Oh, how boring.
You want me to change? What's that?
Right? How boring to try and pin down a human with all of our messy sides, right?
Well, that would make life easier for her, but I wasn't ready to do that.
Not your job.
Right.
Well, Lenny, today is Valentine's Day in Barcelona, and here the women get a rose and the men get a book. And I'm going to go for a walk and look at all the roses I won't be receiving and all the books I don't want to read. So thank you. I'm going to go hang out with my friend. She studied the Man's Search for Meaning, exactly that, for coaching. And the whole premise of Victor's book and his whole coaching philosophy is like, you have the choice. And so I think we're leaving with that. You have the choice to laugh or to cry? Yeah, you can do both, but which one makes you enjoy the game of life better and the path to the ending that you'll never get, right? So, well,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure being here with you.
It was a pleasure, always a pleasure. Well, you said I could call you, so I'm going to call you more.
All right. How do I get out of here?
I'm just going to close it, and you're going to go live your life.
Oh, don't tell me that, please. Thank you again, darling. I love you. I really do. You're great. You're one of the. You're like a sister to me, really.
Thank you. That
Okay.
means a lot because I want to be like you. So great. If someone one day says, you're like a 90-year-old Jewish man, I'll be like, what? I made it to the ultimate.
I made it. That's the bell.
That's the bell. Kill me now. I've made it to Lenny Ravich level. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, darling. Bye. Have a great day.
Thank you.